Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, koholoyimla, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Kachadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the Akib and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Hanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. A little before camp joint. I remember this story back in the days. Susan Smith drowned her children in a lake, then made up a story about being carjacked by a black man. 30 years later, she's up for parole. And that's typical for the so-called white race, you know what I'm saying? They give themselves a slap on the wrist when this bitch ought to be put to death. She should have been put to death as soon as they found out what was up, you know? And then the false accusations of the so-called black man, you know, that's been going on for quite some time with the Beckys, man. The snowflakes, you know. And it says 30 years ago, a story of a young white mother from South Carolina captured the nation's attention when she claimed to have been carjacked by a black man who forced her out of the vehicle and drove away with her 2 young sons in the car. Now, that should have sounded suspicious right there in itself, because what the fuck does a so-called black man want with 2 so-called white kids? He's just gonna drive away with the kids? Come on, bro. Like what is he about to do with the kids? That's some Edomite shit. Edomites do shit like that, man. Jake not rolling away to kidnap no damn white kids, man. What is he about to do with them? What he about to be, you know, raising them or something, or you know. Anyway, suspect in itself. If he's gonna take the car, of course, you know he gonna throw that. Take your kids, you know. I just want the car, bitch. Anyway, for 9 days. In October 1994, the community rallied behind Susan Smith. Of course, they rallied behind her. Then 23, and her then husband, David, as they stood in front of TV cameras and tearfully pleaded for the safe return of their boys, Michael, 3, and Alexander, 14 months. Like, what the fuck, like, for real? Come on, bro. What the fuck is a so-called black man? What is he about to do with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old little white boys, man? When you really think about it. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I know it's some perverts out here, but, you know, Jake not taking them types of chances. Not in that type of way. I don't think so. Nah, man. Anyway. But the whole time, the bodies of the 2 little boys were at the bottom of South Carolina Lake, still strapped in their car seats inside their mother's car. The boys' mother knew exactly where they were the whole time. Look at her. Look at it. I remember this shit. See that? And see, this is the so-called white man in general. This is his whole MO, man. Matter of fact, let's get that one. Fucking estranged from the womb. They come forth speaking lies. What's that? I'm trying to think, where is that at? Yeah, and that's why we, you know, too. Let me see. Yeah, Psalms 58:3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And she was telling them lies straightforward with tears like a motherfucker. Like that story she told really happened. She had tears and shit. I'm talking about, you know, because like I said, this was big back then. And I know, you know, you may have some of the apostles, you know, tell Jake, hey, leave the so-called black woman alone and deal with Becky. And you got to be careful with Becky ass too, man, because she still has that skin color, man, that'll get your ass, you know, twisted, man. So be careful with these hoes, because they capable of stuff like this. Okay, so it says, ain't no way this lady should be up for parole, man. They should have strapped her ass to a. I don't even know if they have death penalty where she's at, but if they do, you know, Esau not killing no so-called white woman. Not like that, man. Anyway, it says, on November 3rd, 1994, Smith confessed that she had strapped her toddlers into their car seats, driven to a boat ramp, but put her car in neutral and let it roll into the lake. She watched the car sink beneath the surface with her children trapped inside. And then she leaned into a racist trope and made up a story about an imaginary black man and fabricated carjacking. So every so-called black man in the state at that time had a damn target on their head, man. Because, you know, and this, you know, this was the type of shit that caused lynch mobs and shit back in the days, you know. Matter of fact, you know, stories like, you know, like the movie Rosewood and shit like that. Black Wall Street, things like that. You know, a lot of those, you know, things came from so-called white woman lying on a so-called black man. You know, Emmett Till. So it was targets on Jake back then, man. And it's crazy, bro. You think the lynch mob would have, you know, they would have lynched her ass. Okay, but it says, the case became a national sensation, made international headlines, sparked numerous books, documentaries, and movies. Smith, now 53, is serving life in prison after a jury decided in 1995 not to sentence her to death. So what jury would decide? You know, these are all so-called white people. They're not gonna. Now, had this been a so-called black woman, come on, man, they'd put her ass to death. And to you so-called black women that are so mad about Kamala not winning, you know, you know, you want things like this to happen to Jake because you're so mad. You're so mad that the so-called black man didn't go out and support you by voting for Kamala, and you just want death on our men. You know, hey, they would have put your ass to death, man. These are the same women that went out and voted for Trump. So why aren't you mad at them? Right? And she's up for parole, bro. Like, you know, I wouldn't doubt if they wouldn't get that shit to her. Trump might pardon this bitch. Real talk, bro. This is crazy. Okay, that's crazy though. That they did have the death penalty then. It says under the law at the time she was deemed eligible to seek parole after serving 30 years. That time has come. In just a few days, the woman dubbed Killer Mom could be set free. Man, I wouldn't doubt if they want to say they just might set this bitch free. They might say, hey, she done her time. You know what I'm saying? But what happens in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? And these are people that, now I know back then motherfuckers are swearing in on the Bible. You judges, you know what I'm saying? They used to have people come in, put their hand on the Bible and throw up their, you know, I think that they throw up their right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All this swearing in on the Bible. When the scripture says that when you do something like this, your ass supposed to be put to death. But the jury of her peers, I'm willing to bet you they was all white women. Mostly, pretty much overall, that jury, that you know, probably had two or three so-called white men up there, you know, some sympathetic ass simps. It says, in 1994, the small South Carolina town of Union was flooded with reporters, all chasing the terrifying story of a mother claiming she had been carjacked late at night on October 25th by a black man with a gun who sped off with her two children still inside. Boy, I tell you. But investigators soon discovered that the several details in Smith's story did not add up. Carjackers usually just want a vehicle. That's what I said. So they wondered why this person would let Smith out, but not her kids. See? Now, that's the same thing that I fucking said, bro. Jake don't want nothing to do with no white kids, man. Jake not dealing with their own kids. Out here. Smith initially told police that the carjacking happened at Monarch Mills intersection while she was stopped at a traffic light, but investigators said it would only be red if another car was waiting to cross. Yet Smith had said no other cars were around at the time. Yeah, the lies, man. Them lies didn't add up. In a revised statement, Smith only made one change, that the carjacking happened at the Carlisle intersection, not Monarch Hills. Union County Sheriff Howard Wells confronted Smith about the conflicting details, informing her that undercover officers were working at a drug investigation at that very intersection that night, and yet they did not see the alleged carjacking. According to Sheriff Wells, who told her that he would have to tell the media about the lie because her accusations had caused tensions in Union's black community. See? So yeah, you see what I'm saying? She ain't had no remorse. Hey, look, had they caught a nigga, he'd have just been done, bro. Had she gave, I don't know what kind of description she gave, bro, but anybody that was fitting that description, they was throwing your ass in the back of that squad car and whooping your head in until you basically a forced confession, man. But Esau don't care, and these are your enemies right here, man. Because why wouldn't she blame it on the so-called white man? She could have easily said a so-called white man carjacked her. Why did she say a Chinese man? Why didn't she say a Japanese man? And I was going into that yesterday about how this fight in this world, this spiritual war that's going on in this world, is all about Jacob and Esau. Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white race, and Jacob is the progenitor of the so-called black race, Hispanics and Native Americans. We are the children of Israel. And see, these are a part of those curses, man, that we're under the hands of our enemies, first off. And he's the accuser of the brethren. The scriptures talks about that. In fact, let me see. She didn't have no problems doing that, man. That was natural. That came natural with her. And that's Esau in a nutshell. The men are like that too. Yeah, the men are like that too, man. Esau, and he's able to get away with that shit, bro. Revelation 12:10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of Yahushua Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. They're constantly accusing us, man. Constantly. Now you can see that in these last days, this thing's about to boil over. Jake is not having it like that no more. Jake whooping on Esau's ass out here in public now. There's all kinds of videos of Jake getting down, man. Especially the so-called black woman. She don't care no more. She's knocking Karen the fuck out these days, man. And this right here, the Karens have always been around, man. Okay, it says Smith eventually confessed to the murders, revealing that she put her boys in their car seats and drove to John D. Long Lake, where she let her car roll down the boat ramp into the water. She told investigators that she had intended to kill herself along with her sons because she believed the boys were better off with her and God rather than being left without a mother, but then had gotten out of the car. So what's with all these problems? You had a loving husband. A recreation by investigators showed it took 6 minutes for the Mazda to dip below the water surface, while cameras inside the vehicle showed water pouring in through the vents, steadily rising. The boys' bodies were found dangling upside down in their car seats, one tiny hand pressed against the window. Golly. This bitch says, I am not the monster society thinks I am. Smith trial in July 1995 became a national sensation and a true crime touchstone, despite it not being televised because Judge William Howard had been worried about the media circus surrounding O.J. Simpson murder trial, which was going on at the same time. See? But they was on O.J. ass, right? Prosecutor said Smith's motives for murder stemmed from an affair she was having with a man named Tom Finley. Now, here you go. Your ass should have been put to death for that, too. What does the scripture say about adultery? Her ass should have been put to death. But here she goes. This wicked bitch done killed her damn kids, over an affair. This is your America right here. And look at her. She got that mugshot. She ain't looking worried neither. A week before the murders, let me see. Hold on. It says, okay, she had an affair. Okay, the son of a local wealthy business owner. So that man, come on, man. He was just popping. That he just wanted some cooch. That's all. And she probably fell for him. A week before the murders, Finley wrote a letter to Smith that would become central to her case. He told Smith that while he was interested in her romantically, he did not want children. Golly. According to the Birmingham News. So why couldn't she just leave her husband? Just leave this is America, bitch. You can do that in America. You got all the rights to and probably could have you know what I'm saying? Shit. Got half his shit and went on your way. Why didn't you just leave the kids with your husband? Show you how selfish this bitch was, man. And so why would you not, knowing all this information, why would you not put this bitch to death when you got the death penalty there to put her ass to death? And let me get this one real quick. This is pretty much what happened. But now Esau is starting to fall under these curses, man. Things are starting to change for their asses slowly. But this is pretty much about what happened with this situation here, because this is their kingdom. Psalm 73, I'm going to start at verse 3 here. It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. See, they're not in trouble as other men. They didn't even talk about the fact, okay, well, what about the extra charges as far as you falsely accusing a so-called black man? That could have been, because it was tension in the black neighborhoods at that time. Had to be damn careful where you went, Esau running around with them goddamn, them fucking trucks. You know how Esau get down, man. Esau don't have no problems, man, tying your ass to the back of a truck, man, and dragging you until your ass is mangled. You see? Verse 6, it says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. You can see that pride on their face. That's in their mugshot. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. Like I said again, they have no problems oppressing us the way that they oppress us. And you know how many Jake done died, man, because of the lie that the so-called white bitch done said? Come on, bro. Straight up. Authorities at the time said that greed, ambition, and Smith's desire for a relationship with Finley pushed her into getting rid of her children by murdering them. Smith's attorney, however, claimed she was suffering a mental breakdown. Of course, they're going to always run with that. That's Esau's go-to right there. Mental breakdown. And intended to die alongside her children. Sure she did. Yeah, right. But saved herself at the last moment. The trial lasted less than a week. And after less than 2.5 hours of deliberation, the jury found Smith guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder. Judge Howard then sentenced her to 30 years to life in prison. We all felt like Susan was really a disturbed person. Juror Deborah Benvenuti told reporters following the verdict, according to the Washington Post, and we all felt that giving her the death penalty wouldn't serve justice. Why not? Why the fuck not? Because she's a white lady, man. That's the reason. Because I'm certain. Had this been a so-called black woman, they'd have gave her ass the chair, lethal, and they would have wanted her to suffer. So they wouldn't even have given her no lethal injection or no shit like that. They'd have wanted her ass to suffer. Hit that switch and let's see her ass twitch. Straight up, man. It says the boy's father, David Smith, felt differently. He told reporters outside the courtroom at the time that he did not feel justice had been served because that's his seed. You know that, you know how hurt that guy had to have been. First off, bitch, you committing adultery on him. Then you kill his seeds. You could have just let that man take his children, man. You could have gave that man his children and told that man what, like I said again, that shit is legal here in America because Esau run a wicked ass kingdom. See, she could have easily just gave those children to that man and went on ahead and tried to pursue that bullshit ass romantic bullshit she had with homeboy and shit, which he wasn't gonna do nothing but, throw her ass to the side anyway. It says the two were legally separated at the time of the murders, but David joined forces with Smith to find their sons. Everything changed when she confessed to killing their children. So she's standing beside the man of her children, knowing full well she done killed them babies, man. And she's standing her doofy ass, Come on, bro. They should have put that bitch in whatever death penalty they had. She should have been put to death the week of. Here you go. This bitch been living 30 years on the taxpayer's dime, and she can possibly get out of jail. Hey, this is Esau's kingdom, man. This is a very unrighteous place, man. Jake silly ass, man. Jake so goddamn silly. Motherfucking side street, nigga. Anyway. Says, I'll never forget what Susan has done, and I'll never forget Michael and Alex. He said, me and my family, of course, are disappointed that the death penalty wasn't the verdict. Meanwhile, over the years, Smith has said that she is misunderstood by society. I am not the monster society thinks I am, she wrote in a letter to the state newspaper in 2015. I'm far from it. Something went very wrong that night, she added. I was not myself. I was a good mother and loved my boys, sure, bitch. Well, that spirit of vengeance came over your ass for one. There was no motives as it was not even a planned event. I was not in my right mind. Drugs, sex, and prison guards. From having sex with prison guards to violating policies and chatting up a number of Seth's suitors on the outside, Smith's time behind bars have been mired in controversy. So this bitch has been doing it all. Smith began her sentence in Camel Griffin Graham Correctional Institution in Columbia, South Carolina, where she was hit with 2 infractions for having sex with prison guards. Golly, boy. Well, hey, she got to get it. So she had a problem with them dudes, man. The incidents were discovered by an investigator who was looking into the tabloid claims that Smith had been beaten. Instead, it was revealed that Smith, who was 28 at the time, had sex with 50-year-old prison guard Houston Caggle at least 4 times. According to the UPI, Smith was disciplined and Caggle was fired. So she got this nigga fired, bro. Because of the power imbalance. Basically, there's no such thing as consensual sex between staff and inmates. Then in September 2000, prison captain Alfred Rowe was arrested for having sex with Smith. Golly. Smith was then transferred to the Leith Correctional. Okay. She was disciplined at least 5 times between 2010 and 2017 for issues including self-mutilation and drug use. Could Susan Smith go free? I think the bitch can, because this is their kingdom. Smith parole hearing is scheduled for November 20th and will be done virtually. Parole in South Carolina is only granted about 8% of the time, and she may not be getting out of there. She shouldn't, man. They should have put this lady to death, bro. And here she go today. Big ass smile on her fucking face. This person's terrified she could possibly get out. I guess yeah, that's the husband. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. She in there boiling it up. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick little lesson, man. But let me grab one more. Yeah, that was pretty foul. Some pretty foul shit she done to her old man. But, hey, I mean, hey, like I said again, hey, this is Esau's kingdom, man. There's no judgment, no real judgment in this place, man. No real judgment in this place at all. And when I was reading in the comments, everybody pissed about, her killing the 2 little boys. But I didn't see not one comment as to how she, pretty much was trying to pin that shit on a so-called black man. Nobody was outraged with that shit. Anyway, let's get Ecclesiastes 25, what is it, about 13, I think. Yep, give me any plague. Ecclesiastes 25 and 13, also known as the Book of Sirach in the 1611 King James Bible. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Phew. Goodness gracious, bro. Verse 16, I had rather dwell with a lion and dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Goodness gracious, boy, I tell you. And it goes on. It's just, let me just read on. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. And that's what happened with them damn security guards. And probably a homeboy too that she was cheating with, because she's not a bad looking lady. Even today, hell, she still look, I guess, I don't know, they, who knows what, shit. I guess them prisons, they treating them good down there. She all happy and smiling, skin all glowing. Bitch look like she done been to the salon. But it says a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudency, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh the heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. And you already know she wasn't no level. But my thing is, like, bro, you didn't see like those particular types of tendencies in this bitch before you dealt with her? Crazy, man. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou would have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Can't get around it, bro. And I know homeboy, well, probably, you know, that's probably the reason why they was legally separated. He probably caught on to the shit too late. But, you know, she should have just gave that dude them kids, man, and told him, hey, you know, I'm out. You know, I'm on my quest. Now she's up for parole 30 years later, bro. But this is their kingdom, man. So I wouldn't be fucking surprised if this lady didn't get out. They might let this lady go. Straight up, man. So this is the kingdom of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and there's no judgment in this place, man. That's the reason why the Lord is gonna come, and there's gonna be righteous judgment in the earth, man. These women not gonna have no ability to get abroad and get out here and get to fucking around and flirting in town, and you know, you out, you know, with your little bitty ass clothes on, batting your goddamn eyes at some other man knowing you're married. Gonna be none of that shit in the kingdom, man. Gonna be none of that going on. Serious consequences gonna come with shit like that, bro. Your ass gonna be put directly to death. It is what it is. So with that, pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala and the Bible Ball.